Karl Truman, the injury lawyer, joins us this morning, and as Becca and I were just discussing, if you get hit on your way to work and it's not your fault, we've got the answers for you right here. Karl, welcome.
Yeah, be careful out there. It's pretty nasty.
Absolutely.
How was your trip in?
Oh, not bad. The interstate was pretty clear, wet, but yeah, those side roads are really nasty.
Yeah,
right.
absolutely, and they're going to continue to be that way throughout the day as the snow continues to fall. Fortunately, you've got offices in both Louisville and Jeffersonville, so if you're across the river and you need some legal advice, easy to get to you.
Well, that's true. That's something I always emphasize is the fact that we are licensed to practice both Indiana and Kentucky, and I see it, you know, it's one of the things that concerns me is when I see so many times where, especially being on the border, where attorneys want to handle cases in the other state where they're not licensed.
Right.
And you know, I get calls from attorneys that say, well, how do you do this? Or what's the statute on, you know, the MedPay or PIP? So that's why I think it's important to know where your attorney is licensed.
Sure. I think it's really important as well. We're still taking phone calls, 502-276-2118. All right, Karl, it's a little bad outside. I mean, the snow's going to be coming down all day. What are a few tips we've talked about already? You know, keeping your lights on, making sure your car isn't covered in snow, obviously. What are a few more tips that you can offer?
Well, other than staying at home.
Yeah, no kidding.
Staying off the road. The big thing in any inclement weather or any good weather, especially bad weather, is allowing plenty of safe stopping distance.
Yes.
Because you know, if you typically follow someone, and you know, in driver's ed, we always heard about the 2-second rule about following behind a car, and so you've got to make sure when the roads become more slick, to leave plenty of space in front of that car ahead and watch the car behind you, because it's not only the car in front of you that is in you know, you're in danger of hitting, but the person that's behind you that you've got to look out for also. So you know, keep the speed down and make sure you leave plenty of safe stopping distance.
Keep the speed down. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I know. I have to take my lead foot off of the gas pedal. Karl, you have a number of mailbag items come in, and one of them comes from Dave in New Albany, and he said he's recently had a medical procedure that he wants to talk to you about. He said it was done at a local hospital. He knows the doctors don't think they did anything wrong, but something doesn't feel right. My incision isn't healing, and I'm not sure what to do. This is one of your areas of practice, which is medical malpractice. What can you do to help Dave?
Interesting.
Well, depending on what it is, certainly, you know, it could be an infection. There's a lot of things going on there, so definitely talk to your doctor. And if there's risk of infection, you may ask for a referral to a wound specialist that can really look at that. And there's certain ways of treating, and you know, there's certain open wounds, testing for infection to make sure that there's nothing else going on there. So the big thing is communicate with your doctor, and you know, if it really doesn't feel right and you don't think you're getting answers, ask for a second opinion.
Okay. Still taking your phone calls, 502-276-2118. Did you slip and fall today? Did you maybe have an accident? Karl's here to answer your questions. We have Angela from Louisville on the line. Angela, go ahead.
Yes, I have a question concerning my attorney. In June, I had a slip and fall, and I hired an attorney to take care of the case, and he filed a claim. But, however, to date, he hasn't done anything as far as completing the case, and I keep asking him to complete it, and it just doesn't do that. So I'm at a loss of what to do about that.
Good question, Karl.
Well, communication is an important issue with an attorney or any professional. So my first suggestion is to make an appointment to see the attorney, because sometimes, you know, I try to keep people informed on what's going on with their case. But if you feel like you're not getting answers, I mean, the number one complaint people have against attorneys is not getting phone calls returned. So that's very important. So I would suggest to, first of all, make an appointment to see the attorney, sit down and go over your file, what's been done, what needs to be done, what's their plan to go from here, so you have an understanding. You know, sometimes phone calls are great, but sometimes there's nothing like just a face-to-face meeting to sit down with your attorney and talk about it.
Very good. Hope that answers your
And
question.
let them know what your concerns are.
Yeah. Marie is on the phone. Marie, do you have a question for the injury attorney?
Yes, I do. Oh, injury attorney. Okay.
You can ask him anything you want, and he'll tell you if he can't answer it.
Okay. I took a man to court, and we won, and he's never paid. What is my next step to do?
What kind of court was it? What was it for?
He auto. He just work on my car.
Okay.
Car.
Was it a small claims?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, small claims court is a good place to be able to resolve small cases without involving an attorney and trying to streamline the process. There's a process, what's called proceeding supplemental. And what that means is that you can go back to the court and have him appear before the judge, and he may have to answer questions about why he's not paid, and even possibly garnish wages. If he has bank accounts, he can garnish bank accounts or other assets. So you need to contact the small claims court and simply tell them, that you want to follow up on what's called proceeding supplemental, that he's not paid the judgment, and then they can help you from there.
Okay,
All
Marie,
right.
hopefully
Thanks,
that
Marie.
answers your question. There's a question from Tom in Louisville about a nursing home situation, Carl, and I know that you work with folks who have family members who are in nursing homes, and he says, our father's getting older. We're thinking we may have to move him into a nursing home. What are some things we should be looking out for to make sure he will be treated well in the facility? This is becoming more and more of a concern with our aging population.
And that's a tough question because it's so hard to tell. There's some websites that you should go to. First of all, obviously visit the facility, look around. Just keep your eyes open when you're looking around. Does it look like people are being cared for? Do people look healthy, well nourished? Are there activities? But there's also websites you can go to. If you just go to like Google or any search engine and look at the state, whether it's Indiana or Kentucky, the state has assessments where they do inspections of nursing homes, and they actually have grades. Probably just type in nursing home grades or nursing home scorecard, and you can actually find information about the past state inspections from the different nursing homes.
That is valuable information. And if you are interested in talking to Karl, you can both call him and check his website. It's trumanlaw.com, which is an easy website to remember, both in Indiana and Kentucky. And besides medical malpractice and personal injury law, what are the other areas of practice that you perform, Karl?
Well, a variety of type of injury claims, whether it's, of course, automobile accidents is a significant part, workers' compensation on the job injury, Social Security disability. I even do maritime claims. I represent several barge workers that work on towboats on the river. Premises liability, medical malpractice, nursing home. So a variety of situations, but we do focus on areas. We don't do divorces or wills because I think the law is so concentrated now these days that you can't be knowledgeable in everything. But when I do have clients that call about other things, I do try to help them, steer them in the right direction to find someone to take care of them.
1-800-ACCIDENT, that's the number to dial.
That's right. Thanks, Karl. Motor vehicle accidents, if you have one today, I think Karl's the guy you should call.
That's right.
All right.
trumanlaw.com.